أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Respected moderators, dear guests, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. It's a distinct honor to have the next few minutes to talk about exploiting regeneration of the pancreas to treat pancreatic disorders. And at the outset, let me acknowledge some of the people who've done the work that I will, at least in concept, talk about. And they include Dr. John Isis, Mr. Ibrahim Orabi, and Mr. Shahriar Server, two of whom are in the audience. Our research interest, or I would say mission, is to treat pancreatic disorders, and specifically to come up with effective treatments for pancreatitis. And what's shown on the right top is a cartoon diagram of the pancreas, which is located behind the stomach. And what's shown in the bottom right is an image or cartoon of pancreatitis, which is an inflammatory injury to the pancreas. It is painful and life-threatening. And we're focused on discovering key signaling pathways. It was in December 2008 when I heard two khutbat from Hazrat Khalifatul Masih on Allah Ta'ala's attribute of Ash-Shafi, or the healer. And Huzur quoted from the Holy Quran, the quote which you see in the slide, and we are gradually revealing of the Holy Quran, of the Quran, that which is a healing and a mercy to the believers. And for me, this was a call of the Khalifa to turn to the Holy Quran, because Huzur's message was that Ahmadi Muslim scientists and physicians should turn to the Holy Quran for guidance in coming up with cures. So with this mindset, I started pondering over the Holy Quran, and I came upon this verse from Surah Yasin. وَمَن نُعَمِّرْهُ نُنَكِّسْهُ فِي الْخَلْقِ أَفَلَا يَعْقِلُونَ. And him whom we grant long life, we revert him to a weak condition of creation. Will they then not understand? And what struck me was the word khalq, which is a weak condition of creation. And as a biologist, I felt like could this mean an early period during embryonic development with features of what's called a pluripotent state, that is the ability to self-renew, to grow, to divide, and then also to differentiate, which are the defining features of stem cells. And so when I read this verse, I felt like it could be interpreted in the following way. And a certain organ which we cause to age or get injured, we also allow it to regenerate through a process similar to embryonic development. Will they not then understand? And so then I started asking, what guidance is there from the Holy Quran on how the embryo forms? And I was amazed to know that the Holy Quran tells about key steps in embryonic development. And this is from Surah Mu'minun. Allah Ta'ala states, "Verily, we created man from an extract of clay. Then we placed him as a drop of sperm in a safe depository. Then we fashioned the sperm into a clot. Then we fashioned the clot into a shapeless lump. Then we fashioned bones out of this shapeless lump. Then we clothed the bones with flesh. Then we developed it into another creation. So blessed be Allah, the best of creators." And what caught my eye was the word izama, or bone. And in the lexicon, it refers to also a scaffold, a substrate, a template. And so could this be a template for growth, differentiation, the formation of new organs? So based on these ideas, I came upon an overarching hypothesis, which is that there are izamas, or substrates, scaffolds or templates for regeneration of the pancreas after injury that follow along the lines of embryonic development. And so what are some of those templates? Can we understand them? Can we exploit them in order to enhance recovery? And so a few months into this thought process, I fortuitously, by the grace of Allah Ta'ala, was asked by a colleague to co-author a chapter in a textbook on pancreas development. And I was amazed to learn, as I was writing this chapter, that certain specific pancreatic factors are responsible for the development of the pancreas in the embryo, and some of those embryonic factors reemerge after pancreatic injury. And then this field, over just the last few years, has become so popular and has led to so many interesting discoveries that the Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine in 2012 was awarded for the discovery that mature cells can be reprogrammed to become pluripotent. And for me, however, the biggest and most relevant confirmation that this was an important area to pursue further was a letter that I received, and one that and a point that I'd recommend to everyone to continue to write to Huzur about everything, including what is on your mind. And so I wrote to Huzur about these ideas, and Huzur wrote back that I've received your letter citing verses from Surah Mu'minun, Surah Yasin, and the point you have presented is a good one. So now I was in search of izamas, or templates, and the clinical clue for one type of template, there are probably hundreds, but one type of template was that a certain drug, for clinicians a drug called valproic acid, causes pancreatitis and blocks a novel protein template called HDACs, or histone deacetylases, and they govern an entire layer of regulation of gene expression called epigenetics. And recently it's been shown that HDACs regulate pancreas development. And so, a scientist thinks of a hypothesis, then further refines the hypothesis, sometimes also rejects the hypothesis. In this case, the refined hypothesis was that HDACs are crucial for activating the programs necessary for pancreatic recovery and regeneration after pancreatic injury. And now this was testable. And so we did. By the grace of God, we were able to generate some data in mouse models examining this exact question of the role of this epigenetic factor as a crucial regulator of embryonic development in the adult state in recovery of injured organs. And we put together a grant proposal which asked whether HDACs modulate recovery, which developmental programs are affected by HDACs during recovery, and whether HDACs within certain pancreatic cell types actually modulate recovery. And that grant was submitted last week. So in summary, the Holy Quran refers to the potential for regeneration of organs by reverting them back to an earlier state of embryonic development. It provides key principles and a new paradigm to treat pancreatic injury, and pancreatitis can be treated by enhancing regeneration and recovery of the pancreas through epigenetics. I would like to end by thanking you for your attention and requesting prayers for the success of not only this proposal, but the overall project. Jazakallah.